Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. We got a couple of good pieces of news coming. Well, wholesale inventories here in about 4 minutes, but then we also have Case-Shiller Home Price Index, and Chairman Powell will be testifying at 8 o'clock. Also, Richmond Manufacturing Index. That's going to be a really important one. Meanwhile, Treasuries continue to sell. So let's come over to the charts, which are not ready. Volume profile. Okay, here we go. Start with the Treasuries because that's the one that's moving. Look, so yesterday during our hours, U.S. hours, I mean, there was a little bit of a downturn, but then it snapped right back. And now, again, overnight, they sell. So I just note that the selling in the Treasuries seems to be coming much more heavily from Europe than it does from other places. I think that one of the component of that may be, if we come back over here, is the energy crisis, shall we say, that is going on in Europe. So there's oil and there's NG. Oh man, NG yesterday and tonight going absolutely wild. So that is the economic backdrop that we are in. And of course, that is not very good for the NASDAQ. As you can see here, the NQ, yes, doing pretty well compared to NQ and not doing as so well compared to RTY. So the small caps are outperforming compared to the NASDAQ because the interest rates are getting higher and so much of the demand, or how do we say, the profits that were coming from those big tech companies were coming from low interest rates. So that said, the move here in the Treasuries is about 4 basis points. So now, gold does not benefit from this backdrop. Unfortunately, you would think it does because, like, maybe inflation and stuff, but no, higher yields are bad for gold. At some point, I really think at some point that this switches and gold becomes a thing, but it's going to take something. It's going to take something that, like, all of the sudden the general investing public is really concerned about inflation and picks up on buying gold, and then it will just be like a gangbusters higher. But for now, yeah, not the best place to be. Gold and silver coming back out. Cryptocurrencies also been struggling, so they recovered this huge dip that they had over last weekend, right? But then now they're kind of trailing back down again. And I think that the general economic picture does not look good for Bitcoin, but we shall see if they're ever able to breach the 40,000 level. Could see some chaos if they do. And the dollar, quite a bit stronger, 93.6. So here we are. I can see here on the open, there's actually been just a teeny tiny little bit of buying in the Treasuries. So that's interesting. Okay, so turn on our text-to-speech here. Get ready for the news. Well, I'm not really seeing any polling, but I would just note this wholesale inventories, no estimate, is something that I think will matter.
Robots enabled.
No, in fact, he's not even on there. We should go and do that. Okay. Let me add one. Strategies, new strategy. J4. High threshold, spot 6, low threshold, spot 4, 5. Oh man, I don't remember what the. I need to change the defaults in this thing. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna modify him. Okay, so it was. What did I have for the loss limit? 1,000. Okay, that's what that period is much longer. Stop 24. I was using a 1 reward factor though, right? No. I was using a reward factor of like 10. Yeah, 10. If you're so lucky. Oh yeah, inverse. I don't think that the inverse bit matters. True. Yeah, okay. It did at one point, but it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, save that. So when I'm looking over here, do you see like the back of my head? Is it the back? I can't, you know. Oh, wait. I will move the chart over here. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But not the complete back of my head. Okay. So now we can come in here, add strategy. Pick our J4. There we go. Ignore the book strategy, by the way. And we're going to use 5-second bars. Tick replay. Trading hours. We're going to use set trading hours 2. Sim account. ES. Yada. Okay. Okay. And enabled. Okay. How are we looking, by the way, today? We come over here. I'm looking a little better today. Yesterday I was tired. I don't think I've completely recovered, though, have I? No, I look okay. You know, I need to get something. Maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. Or maybe that's what we'll do today. Today would be a day where we can go do that. Okay, so now you guys were saying a bunch of stuff before that, weren't you? Let's see here. NASDAQ futures fell, dollar boosted. Yeah. Now it is hot in here. None of these are hot, right? No. Could be the laptop. Could be the laptop causing that. You have a very large head. I mean, you must in order to know everything. I don't think that I actually do have a large head, though, actually. I think that I just have a very dainty body. Look at my wrist. Compared to the microphone, like, I have a teeny freaking, I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess that's just the way that I am. But, like, I don't think I've ever met a man with a smaller wrist than myself. That's what it is. And so, like, my head kind of appears large in comparison. When in reality, my head is actually probably small compared to other people, too. Giveaway bot spamming me. I have one in. Okay, so there was Ben was doing something here in algo trading, but I should keep an eye here on this treasury. But the news didn't really do anything. Jay, how is Jay already taking a trade? Well, it is correct. It is correct. Okay. Well, we'll see what he does. And that is in the sim account. Yep. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's see what he was saying. I have one indicator whose input data series is data from another indicator. So when I open the dialog box to add an indicator, I then select an indicator as the input series. I do this with my derivative indicator, for example, where let's say I want to plot the first derivative of a volume series. My understanding is that parse array 1 would be referring to what I add with add data series. Can that method be used for adding indicator data series? Interestingly, I also tried get value at, and this was the result. So input get value at 0 gave me the price series value, and input 0 gave me the input. Oh, well. On state changed, data loaded area. There we go. Dennis, welcome back. How are you? You look good, and so does the back of your head, lol. The one thing I feel like that the skin under my eyes is just too discolored. You know what? I'm gonna fix something else here. I'll be right back. When your eyes get black, that means your activity levels and diet are insufficient. I'm not really. I don't know if they're necessarily this super discolored though, right? It's kind of more that I'm skinny and old. Yeah, it has more to do with staying up too late. Needs more waffles. Well, I had, let's see here, I had a bowl of grits and 4 eggs. Oh man, yesterday I did the kind of switched our workout plan a little bit this week at the gym, or the coach did, and so we moved over to more of a strength program. So I did part of it was curls, and no, you can't tell. You can't tell at all. You can't tell at all that I did it in the camera. But when I look at it, I'm like, holy crap, they're huge right now. Whoa. And they certainly, this one really hurts. Eyes turn slightly dark. Well, I have very bloodshot eyes. That's always been a thing. Oops. Always had very bloodshot eyes. Just really, it really stands out. But I was probably from, probably would be whiter if I lived in the city. I remember I met this girl at a rave once, and it was just really weird to me how white the white of her eyes were. And I later found out that it was basically because she lived in the country. Because then when she moved over here, they got darker. Okay, well, the Treasuries is selling. They selling still. Could be one of those moves where they just kind of slip through. I don't know if that's one that I could really seriously participate in. And by the way, the 30-year seems to be leading the way on that. Set that up there. Now, the S&P 500 is very excessively bearish. Is that the next Jason Statham? That's what I need to become an action star. That's what I got to do. Is the high in the Dixie a new year today high? Really? Says Newsquack. I did not realize that. You've been shorting gold with success? Yeah, gold hasn't been a very good trade. I mean, it seems to me though that like the better trade is to just be short the treasuries long yield. That's been the easy trade this week so far. It's probably going to get harder because there's so much selling, and there really is like a lot of economic concerns coming up here. Like everything that I see about this winter looks bearish. Like the energy crisis in Europe and China looks like to be a real thing. So like what is happening? And you know what? They're going to have nobody to blame but themselves, because they did all of this stuff to especially in Europe, to move away from nuclear power because they're stupid. And what that did was that made them more reliant on natural gas, which would be okay, except for that they just don't have a very good infrastructure and distribution and everything for natural gas over there. So they're literally not able to generate enough power. So this is going to hit the UK first, and then Europe at large. But it apparently is also now an issue in China, and in China they are already like doing rolling blackouts. I guess it's been a problem in California too, right? That reminds me of the Carter administration. Actually, it very much is like the Carter administration, isn't it? Well, it looks on the tape, it looks really bearish, but kind of when I look back out, kind of pull out a little bit, I can see that it's not like we're not at like crazy levels yet. Same thing in Australia, although we had a wake up call. Well, I think that Australia is going to get a real wake up call here, because what's going to happen is well, I think that there's just so many areas of the world that seem to be shooting themselves in the foot right now. Like China is like shooting like these problems in China are like all their own making, and a lot of it is the government coming in and saying, well, this is bad and this is bad, we're gonna put a stop to this. And it's like, okay, yeah, come and decimate your whole economy, see how that works out. But Australia, they've been pursuing this zero COVID nonsense. So they're going to be like a good year or 2 years behind everybody else in recovery. And I think that what we're learning now is that recovery is not all sunshine and rainbows, right? We had a good year of strong equity gains driven largely by easy central bank and fiscal policy. And now we are coming to trying to normalize the supply chains and so forth. And that's not happening as quickly as we would like. And we could be disruption this winter, and it could be problems going into next year. And we could see inflation too. That's the big concern, is that we'll see another bout of inflation. So when you go and you try and game that all out in terms of how that will happen in Australia, yeah, it's not very good. Australia expanded their solar network. I thought it said social network. So that was another thing, is in Australia, they've been doing a lot of really weird things with tech, like weird that kind of opposite what everybody else has been doing. Like they're saying Facebook has to pay news companies to put links on their website, which is like, what? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay, whatever. That's Australia right now. Two sigma move and real rates. It looks like they're trying to move back up, but man, they're not getting much out of it at all, are they? Oh yeah, straight up backflip on that. My Facebook is still covered in news. Let's see what breaking market news is saying about breaking shares. Probably shouldn't read this out loud. I don't think that that's for everybody. The U.S. Democratic lawmakers urge Biden not to reduce biofuel mandates. It has to happen. I'm sorry. That one has to happen. Anybody that says that biofuel mandates need to be maintained, I don't think they have to be either clueless or not shooting straight with you, because it is objectively more harmful. The biofuels have been objectively more harmful to the environment than just using regular gas. And it affects food. As long as we have governments working against the economy, things will worsen. Well, the good news is that in a liberal Western democracy style economy like we have in the United States, an economy can be very successful in spite of who is in charge. Just remember that, right? So Joe Biden could be, it looks like he's doing a lot of really dumb stuff. That doesn't mean that we're going to have a recession, right? The things Seth has been wrong about is long and distinguished. It's also the things that I've been right about is long and distinguished too, though. Wait, what are we even saying? I'm not saying... I wasn't making a prediction there, though. Wasn't making a prediction. My most recent prediction was that interest rates are going to rise and that the Federal Reserve is going to taper. It's kind of funny because I feel less certain about the Federal Reserve tapering today than I did like 2 weeks ago. But the rates did rise. I was totally right on that one. I don't think I got paid nearly enough for it, but that's okay. Because they could go down. Oh, he's just talking about a short. Yeah, I don't know. Today might be one of those days where Jay does really poorly because Jay was trying to buy that dip and it went to one of the most imbalanced positions I've ever seen there. 0.35. It means that almost 70% of the orders that came through during that time period were sell orders. It does not take them much to get down to the lows there in the Treasury, does it? Cable is feeling the wrath of the dollar as stops our run on a break of the July low, reads Forex Live. Okay, so you see there, somebody hit 1,000 contracts into 12 and it didn't even phase it. The market makers were more than happy to gobble that up. Okay, 30-year ticked up. They did clear it at 12. Interesting. But the market maker held all of it. Now that time they didn't. They kind of pulled 12.5. Am I seeing something going on somewhere? Oh, you know what? We need to get our dollar there a little bit more visible. Okay. Okay, we do get like the Case-Shiller home price index at the top of the hour and everything that could move us, right? Although I think well, there's not a month over month estimate, but I think it's going to probably be in low. Case-Shiller home price year over year 20%. Year over year, that might be. William Shatner is going into space? Wow, that's so cool. Okay, it was lower than it's anticipated. So that if there's any effect here on the treasuries, I think that will be up. Oh no, that's the red book. That's not. Okay, I'm misreading that. Okay. Let me get the actual number here. Oh, okay. These HPIs, they're not yet. I misunderstood. Donald Trump should go to space. Easy way to win re-election. What? Noticing with the way that I got my setup right now, I have to look like way too far over here, but that's okay. I tell you what, it sounds more and more likely every day that Donald Trump is going to run in 2024, and I'm like, I'm not sure that's the right thing. I don't know. Lots could change between now and then. I shouldn't sweat it. You're not. I mean, that's like we're like a good 2 years away from when he can even announce and really talk about it. So could just be hype. We need a fresh GOP candidate. Well, I don't think that you're going to get a fresh GOP candidate. You're going to get somebody of some known quantity. Now it could be DeSantis if he runs. I don't know. I suspect that he's not as good on a national stage as people think he'll be. Could be wrong, but I suspect that he's not as strong. It is hot. Hold on, let me check my like the lights feel hot even though I know that they're not. I'm trying to figure out where the heat is coming from. Yeah, like that shouldn't be 71. It should be turning on. And turn it on. Isn't Barron Trump special? No. Not at all. He's very much like his dad. He's a really tall, hyper intelligent. I don't want to say hyper intelligent. He's like they say he's a hacker or something like that. Like So I'm just noticing that liquidity at 11.5 did not recover correctly, which is kind of odd. If Trump can stop his youngest son from becoming a cokehead, like, well, they're not cokeheads, because stop it. Stop it. Okay, well, Jay has still got his lung and it's come back up for him, so I don't know. I read he is autistic. No, I don't know about that. I don't think that's the case. The man who posted the video suggesting Barron Trump is autistic now says he will take the video down if Melania wishes. Okay, there you go. So apparently he's not. That was just a rumor. Oh my gosh. So I did a search. Everything you need to know about Barron Trump. the first major, and then the first tagline in here, late last year, he tested positive for COVID, and that's the most important thing that you need to know about Barron Trump. Apparently, he had COVID-19, folks. What? He's not frequently photographed. This is a shit article. And then they show a bunch of pictures of her. Okay, what do we get? 19 spot 2 for the house price index. Yep, it's going to push them up. Lame stream media. I really feel like. There we go. Look at this. Barron is not frequently photographed. Then let's show all the photographs that we have of him. Okay. There we go. The first boy to have lived in the White House since JFK Jr. Oh, that's interesting. His main interest is sports. Oh, really? That's a really unusual interest for a young boy. He's fluent in both English and Slovene. Oh, because his mother is. Yes. He's really tall. Yeah, he is. He's photo show. He is as tall as the 6'2" President Trump. Yep, he is tall. Look at this guy. Look, this kid is just like, it doesn't look right. No, it's flipped the other way. You probably stopped out actually. Are you doing the 1 tick stop or the 1 point stop or the 2 point stop? They're at 93, or they're at 43.96. 43.96. I'm in. If this turns into like a runner long for Jay, I'm gonna be so freaking impressed. Why don't you use UB for the correlation with the Treasury? You know that's a good question, Anwar. And I think that in my defense, I'm going to say I don't have enough room. I do. I mean, we have the 30-year up there, and I really don't feel like that the Ultra really tells you a whole lot that the ZB doesn't tell you. So it wouldn't hurt to have it up, but I just don't have the room for it. Well, anyways, pretty sure that he's not autistic, but are they gonna shove the highs here? That's a big iceberg there. It kind of failed though. I don't know how I feel about that one. Poop. Oh man, the AC turning on, it feels so much better in here. UB and T can be helpful. I don't know. There's always things you can add, folks. But I feel like that the 5, the 10, and the 30 have the most volume and give you the best idea of what's going on. Okay, so we just got another date, October 18th. October 18th. Oops. Why did I do that? Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't click that. That was just my order getting filled. Now that doesn't look good. Hmm. Well, I'm not getting the kind of action that I was expecting to see there at 14, so I'm gonna scratch it. Now they're gonna go up and do it, huh? Well, that's okay. If I miss out, they didn't take it. I don't know. It'll be close. I could maybe still justify being in, but I don't know if it's worth the grief right now. Spare ribs suck in comparison to baby back ribs. This I've learned. I mean, it depends on if you like pork or beef, right? I mean, what you really want is prime rib, right? I like Nutella. I don't think I have any Nutella in the house right now, which is probably a good thing. Probably a good thing. The little girls like the Nutella too much. So 359 have gone into 14.5. I think that we would probably need about 1,000 to have justified staying in that trade. But nothing has gone into 13.5, so. Oh, this is turning into a pretty good long. So to 4,400 now. Okay, there it would have filled. It would have worked. It would have worked. Will we get any volume at 15 though? I mean, look at that step. Okay. They took it no problem, actually. Now, am I seeing... Okay, yes, I am. I'm seeing the 6J move considerably there. Gonna get new lows and yields here now. Probably a little too late on the draw there. If you take the ribs out of an animal, it forms a female version of the original. Oh, jeez. I see what you did there. Man, that sucks. I when I saw it approaching that high there again, I kind of thought like, yeah, that's going to be really hard for them to hold that, and there's going to be people wanting to go short, and they came in so quickly. I wonder if it was off of something that Yellen said though. And you did see the 6J like turn on a dime there as it happened too. Grilling corn in its, is there like an extra benefit to doing it in the husk? My wife bought this corn and it didn't have the husk, and I'm like, what are you doing? Please take a meat eating minute or vegetarian second, whatever your food preference be, and hit the like button. Thanks, you're all gonna eat well today. I would hope so. What should I eat today? I could, today is my day off from working out, so I could spend some extra time cooking something. What would I make though? Like the most interesting thing I can think of is I could smoke some chicken, I suppose we could go like immediately after this and go and get some ribs and start them now. It sounds nice, ribs. The issue with ribs is that when you're cooking for the full family, you don't really get you get like 2 ribs and then you want more and they're all done, Okay, well, this is chilled there enough. I'm not going to try and add more risk on that. No, by the way, we should know on that move up, 5-year pushing quite a bit harder than the others and continued yield curve steepening. They definitely are better when you smoke them and the husks are on. Okay, so E-mini's taking a good... Okay, so J took profits, made 387. Oh, that's not bad. Not bad at all. A little curious. The 18 3/4 pulled there pretty aggressively in the 5-year off of only a few hundred orders hitting there. And now look at that. They dashed out 18.5 as well. Wow. That was like really aggressive. That was, wow, that's a really... That's a crazy aggressive downtick. Fed's Bullard saying that the Federal Reserve should let the balance sheet shrink by next year. That's probably why that happened. That was a crazy aggressive downtick, and there was a pretty strong offer placed up there too. I'm probably off of a comment that Fed's Bullard just made, but now, you know, they didn't hold it per se. You are getting a couple of orders hit into the 14. So we shall see. In the 5-year, it was crazy aggressive though, right? October 18th is at the earlier end of some estimates. The bipartisan policy censure projected between October 15th and November 4th. That when Yellen was saying that they're likely to exhaust its extraordinary measures if Congress has not acted to raise or suspend the debt limit by October 18th. Because of what Yellen would prefer is that they just suspend it so that we never deal with this again. Then there's no debt limit and they can just do as much as they want. You know what? That might happen. That might happen. You got to remember that the Democrats control basically both the legislative branches and the presidency, and it's just that they only have a 50% in the Senate. So would Manchin or a Republican be willing to cross the aisle to just completely do away with the debt limit? It's possible if it in the right situation. The problem is that the Democrats are trying to use it to get the Biden's larger agenda through, and that's why it's not happening yet. Sounds like millennia. That's why I think that people think he's autistic because they have Donald Trump syndrome, derangement syndrome, probably. I think that that's one of the strongest indications that somebody has a derangement syndrome about a certain politician is an irrational hatred, or just believing crazy headlines about their children and relatives. You saw a little bit of that with Obama too. Really early on, people would get all over his daughters over nothing. Later on, like I think after his presidency, they did a few things that made people mad, but kind of it was always kind of under the radar. Nobody really never picked up larger media traction. But early on, there were some people that just were really egging to hate them for no reason. Okay, so the 5-year back up at 18 3/4. Your dream GOP ticket would be Nikki Haley, and that's not realistic. Nikki Haley could maybe do okay. I'm not sure she will even run though. We'll have to see. Okay, so the E-mini is still running pretty good here. Jay has decided that he is going to fade it, although I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's say if the ES is gonna pop off here, off of that, then the Treasury is gonna have to go back to the lows. But maybe okay, they're gonna give up some of that. He's not out there like other no presidential children are ever out there unless they're at full adults, right? Like Trump's 2 older sons, his daughter. No, I think for Republicans, you might see like a Ron DeSantis ticket. Otherwise, Ted Cruz is probably the front runner. I know that probably sounds kind of crazy and dumb, but that's where we're at. Remember, Republicans very much do the whole like next in line. So who's the next in line? Who's the guy that like did really well last time around, but wasn't quite there? And then as soon as he was defeated, he got in line. Ted Cruz. And he's done everything he can to ingratiate himself to Donald Trump supporters. And I think that he did a pretty good job. Yeah, if Donald Trump doesn't win, I think that Ted Cruz is probably the front runner because you get somebody that would possibly be able to unite both sides of the party, right? Donald Trump supporters will like him. Establishment will be okay with him. I really can't think of who, other than Ron DeSantis, I really can't think of who would put up a better fight against him. There's a level of sophistication banks and hedge. Well, they have a lot more information available to them, but they're not playing the same game, right? What the reasons that they need to make trades are very different from the reasons that you need to make trades, right? Retail trader comes in and they say, well, it's a little bit too high, right? Bank doesn't care about that. Bank says we have to buy this much of it, period. Better buy more of it when it's low before it gets too high, right? Or vice versa if they're selling here, which there's a lot of people that have to dump some treasuries, I think. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a hard time tracking these upticks and downticks here, so I'm gonna reset my DOM. Trump is already essentially campaigning with his Save America rallies. Yeah, but one, he really, really likes doing rallies. Two, he's like the only thing that generates any kind of enthusiasm among Republicans these days. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to run. He's said a lot of things that really strongly seem to imply that he's going to run, though, hasn't he? Yeah. I don't know how serious that is, but it's like 2 years before we have to think about that. So it's probably not worth trying to speculate about. I'm not sure what the difference between an actual smoker and just slow grilling on the non-fire side of the grill is. Well, okay, so first of all, smokers tend to generate like a very even heat. Like it comes in and it circulates through there. So that kind of makes a difference in how you grill things, especially if you're doing like hamburgers. Because like when you do a hamburger, right, it's just the flame coming up underneath of it and getting it versus cooking all the way through, right? That's a big difference. But then the smoke imparts flavor, very much so. So it's almost always the case that it tastes better smoked. It almost always tastes better smoked. Is it just me, or have we dumped every US Open for the last 2 months? It seems like there is at least some sort of a sell flow on the Open, isn't it? I mean, we've had lots of strong updates, but it seems like right off of the Open, there's almost always some sort of a sell flow, huh? It'll be like they'll let them sell it on the Open and then buy the dip. I think some of that might be like people just getting out of positions overnight, whether they were winners or losers, right? They're taking their trades off, and then the people that are ready to trade for today. What are you seeing the Treasuries going into the Open? Well, I think that the Treasuries had a little bit of a short covering rally after the HPIs here. There is some pretty significant economic numbers at the top of the hour, Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index in particular. We also have a bunch of, Fed Chair Powell is testifying at the top of the hour too. Although his initial comments have already been released to the public, so I don't know. But the Treasuries have had a little bit of a short covering rally. I suppose they could try and go up for 17 again, but I'm not sure that I see that. I think, though, the most likely scenario is that after a little bit of selling on the Open, that the S&P 500 will turn around and turn very bullish, and the Treasuries will start selling harder. President Biden and Democrats face a battle on two fronts with only 48 hours left. Oh, the 48 hours left is for the government refunding bill, huh? Okay, here we go. Oh man, that is pretty aggressive on selling on. Just that initial trade was, oops, oh my gosh. There's a lot of volume came in there, kind of slowed my system down. Go back down. Okay. Whoops. Okay. But they recovered it. Oh, it was not quite enough to get Jay out, huh? Yeah, that was That was pretty aggressive sell on the open, but the delta's washed out. Okay, so what the issue that you got now is that there's going to be like this huge hole at 4403. Let's see if they push through it though. Okay, that's not bad. I suppose, given that yesterday we were basically unchanged, and it was like a matter of a few ticks as to whether or not we were going to have an up day or a down day yesterday. It makes sense that there would be continued fighting on today's open, huh? The street tweets Tesla will see its strongest quarter ever. A Piper Sandler analyst tells investors. I heard Pence wants to run. I think he does. But he probably also knows that his chances aren't very good now, which is not very fair to him. I have to say. And that's curious. Pence is a righteous man. What they were asking him to do on January 6th was a little crazy, right? Like, it was one thing to come in and say the Senate or whatever can decertify the result on a vote, but it's an entirely different thing to say that the vice president, as president of the Senate, can do it unilaterally. You're really going off of like a pretty wild political theory that really comes down to just like how will the Supreme Court rule on it as to whether or not it's legal or not, because I don't know if the Constitution is exceptionally clear on this. And the real question you should be asking yourself is, but is it actually a good idea, right? That's where the problem is. And I think that on that account, Mike Pence probably made the right decision. Like, can you imagine how awful it would have been if he had done that? They went and recertified it. They left everything in limbo for like another month or two. And then in the end, Joe Biden still won. You know what I mean? Because that's most likely what would have happened. So, what they were asking Mike Pence to do was really quite silly. And then when he didn't do it, MAGA world just turned on him so hard, like he's the most evil person. He's the most evil person, and he's a deep state shill and all these sorts of things. When he did the right thing, Dave says he did I think he did the right thing. It's just like, I don't think in Trump world there's this thing that's like, you just whatever you got to do to win. And, they're never going to give up. And so they're going to throw every single Hail Mary that they can. That's a very dangerous strategy to pursue in politics. Like in football, you can do whatever you want because in a minute, the game is going to be over. So you throw the Hail Mary pass, you do all that sort of stuff, right? Politics is an infinite game. This is the problem. Politics is an infinite game, and what they were doing on January 6th did not factor into the larger long-term effects that that's going to have on the infinite game, right? So Mike Pence probably made the correct decision. Was there no evidence for widespread voter fraud? Well, okay, so for instance, there was that Arizona audit, right? And the Arizona audit showed that the vote count was done correctly, but it also showed that there was some 14,000 ballots or so that were not really valid. Like, they were basically sent from like a voter's previous address. So like, you can't match them up to an individual voter with the information that they have, but it kind of suggested that there was 14,000 votes that were fraudulent, which was larger than the margin of victory, right? So that's not proof that the election was that would have changed the result, because you can't match up with who they who they voted for, essentially. But I think that the case is that if they had pursued it, like really to its full extent, they really did every level of investigation in the election that you could possibly do, right? I think that it would still be the case that Joe Biden would win. They would probably find a lot of things. I do not feel that the American voting system is as secure as it should be. But so I'm not going to say it like there was no voter fraud, but I don't think that it's really the relevant question, right? In that situation, I think that they were too focused on the voter fraud thing. I don't think that it was the correct relevant question. The correct relevant question should be like, what is the impact that this has on the infinite game? Are we going to go through and have a full investigation of every election after that point, Like, it's just a little crazy when you really start to game that situation out, right? Like, if you give the Donald Trump theory of things the benefit of the doubt, when you really start to game it out, you really kind of start to realize how crazy it is. Okay. Jay is just killing it today, man. Every single one of those trades I kind of thought was like, okay, well, I understand why he's doing it, but I'm not sure if that's the right call or not. And every single one of them has worked out. That is so crazy good. He is now getting to the point where I think I'm having a hard time justifying not having him trade a combine. I think I can give him another week or two of testing, just to be sure. But it looks like it runs the way that it should, and we should be putting him on a combine, because I have to think about how I want to do it. What do you guys think? How should we do it? I mean, we could go and we could do another earn to trade one, but I think it might be interesting to try the other guys, see how they've changed. Jay is our robot. Jay is our robot. I don't remember why we named him Jay anymore. It was code for something. So this is a little curious. This move that we're seeing in the treasuries is actually catching me off guard a little bit. I mean, I did think that rates were going to rise, generally speaking, but I was also kind of saying, well, but that might be like the ES moves higher, and then the treasuries will have to sell. The selling in the treasuries seemed to come in on its own, but what really surprised me was like the timing of it. Like we're only 10 minutes after the open here, and we still got some significant economic numbers at the top of the hour. So, you need him to shop a little bigger, and then you can order a new Porsche. Well, I tell you what, if he trades as good as he's been doing, I mean, he can make $1,000 a day, right? Like he could go and pass the combine in 3 days. Isn't that crazy? Although I think a day where he makes like $1,000, $1,500 are like the outliers. Like that's really good for him. So okay, Pelosi is saying, according to Politico, that they could vote on the debt limit today. Okay. Interesting. Yep. We say it's awesome, but now maybe Jay is just gonna completely lose it all now. For all I know. They could just I mean, it's leverage. It could just as easily go back the other way, right? He wouldn't be able to lose it all in one trade, though. So that's new lows for ZB, but not for ZN yet. The lows at ZN of the overnight were at 09. Okay. So there is some absorption down there at those bottoms. Okay. I'm just going to put this out here. No. So what do you think? Do you think that this is just the treasuries want to sell? Or do you think that they're trying to front run the news at the top of the hour? Is it because of something that they're saying in the congressional hearings or in the political situation with Pelosi? I don't know, man. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take it, Phil me. Okay, thank you. Pleasure doing business with you folks again today. Pelosi says she will not bring a bill to the floor unless she has the votes. They must have the votes. Yeah. Well, but she's saying could vote on the debt limit as soon as today. That kind of suggests to me that it's really, really close, huh? Yeah. Okay, so I kind of still want to be long, but I don't know. Why am I getting out? Well, I'm getting out because that was kind of like my good profit target for it on a daily basis. But I'm also kind of seeing that there's a lot of volume trading here below 10, right? So they may form a new distribution in this area. There might be another little push lower and then snap back and distribute in this 10 area. China energy crisis update. China energy crisis will rock the whole world, says UK Telegraph. The China power crunch dwarfs Evergrande troubles in investor eyes, says Reuters. Okay, that was correct right there. It's looking good. Jay did get a loser there. He tried taking it long and it started working at first, but then it just collapsed on him. I think that when he got 1,000, like if I was just trading and I had gotten to that 1,000, I might have just said, well, that's good. Let's just quit for the day. I'm gonna let him keep trading it though. But I'm a little concerned about that latest move down. Especially with how the Treasuries moved. It kind of suggests to me that the Treasuries just had another set of meta orders short come in there. And the S&P 500 is selling because of the rise in interest rates. And that's kind of a situation where you might see the ES continue, you might see really excessive selling at points that Jay will lose over and over again. So, I don't know. NASDAQ trader says he's done for the day. Oh, show me. Oh, he did send me a picture. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we're good. 1,150. Now, on the split side, if I had sold on the open and I was still short, I'd probably be trying to push it, but let's see what they do. Okay, so when I got out of my trade, I was out at 7. So there was a little bit more in it. You say it's a perfect day, doesn't happen on the day. Most days have so many inflection points. Well, I mean, when you look at where Jay took his trades and everything, like there was a lot of inflection points, right? I don't know. That long right there, it was looking really good. But then when that happened, like, okay, it's okay. He's gonna try taking it long again. He's just going to keep buying the dip. I think he might give it all back. We'll see. That's interesting. Ranigan Bear is tweeting that they've got a sell signal. And he's got like a chart though. I'm kind of like, if there was a reason for Bitcoin to sell, like I really do not feel that Bitcoin can hold these levels. And you've definitely got this really clear line that if they passed that the cryptocurrency people would just have to absolutely puke, right? But I as of yet don't see the thing that's going to push it there. Okay, there's still a lot of volume trading here in the 08 half 09 area. So this, I continue to see action in the treasuries that kind of suggests trend day sort of stuff. That doesn't mean that this location is a good place to sell, but does kind of suggest to me that maybe we haven't seen the lows of the day yet. And there is a big order at 06 half, by the way. I'm going to go long ZF. So for me, I got out because we were seeing these huge distributions, right? Like I want to see big order, it come through and kind of trail off. So that's why I got out. It's just that now they're still trading that. So that could, I don't want to fade that.
Block sell.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. My expectation is that they will come and distribute at 10 at one point, which is not, I don't want to go short against that, right? There's not a whole lot in it worthwhile in that for me. But these kinds of trades right there like that, that's got to be like stop runs. That's got to be stop runs. Matt is trading from the beach? Really? I don't know. I don't want to talk about Matt. I saw something from Matt the other day that I don't want to get into that I was very disappointing to me. It was not like anything bad. It was just kind of like, okay. Yeah, Alligator says free fall. No, that hit at 07.5 was like hard. That was, did we get, oh, okay, at 08 we had a 4K sell. Like that 7K that traded at 07.5 happened awfully quickly. And in fact, it was enough that you could maybe try taking that as a reversal, but it was not a 7K loss. It was something that he said, and it wasn't something that he said on the stream. I don't know. I shouldn't say anymore. It wasn't like he did anything wrong. I was just kind of like, oh. Okay, pal. Have some backbone. Whatever. You know, we always say, like, in politics, that people's incentives seem to predict what they're going to do a lot better than what their ideology is. Very often is the case, rather. And I often see in the trading world, people will try and create perverse incentives. And I don't think that people go for those. You know, I think the futures community is pretty good at going like, screw that. I don't want anything to do with that, right? But when it comes to actually speaking out against something that's going on that's wrong, people always seem to run away. So I'm seeing it happen with Matt. I see it happen on Futures.io. It's like, we don't want to rock the boat. We just let those things deal with themselves. You know, they're not going to, if something wrong is going on, if somebody is trying to take advantage of you, or you know, a company is running a scheme that isn't in your best interests or whatever, like who is going to protect you from that? Who's going to warn you and protect you from that? And I continue to see that, like, I speak out like I almost can't help but say this sort of stuff. But then you go to Futures.io and they're like, well, you guys are getting too aggressive about it. And Matt was like, oh, let's just apologize and not and leave it at that and run away from it. And so that's why I'm disappointed in him. But like I said, he's not doing anything wrong. It's just, you're a pussy. You're a pussy, man. like if he watches this, it's like nothing personal. I'm just saying, don't be a pussy. I still like him. I still think he's a great guy, but I was disappointed. Also, trading on the beach is not a good idea. Trade in your usual spot. Sit down where you're focused. You know what's going on. 24 watching? No, probably not. he's doing his own stream right now. Okay, so they are at 11. That's good. Okay. I'm feeling good about my decisions. I don't know. So now we get like the Richmond Manufacturing Index here at the top of the hour, right? There, what was? Excuse me. Hold on a second. Richmond Fed Comp Index, previous reading of 9, forecast of 10. The past manufacturing numbers that we've had recently have all been pretty good. So there is, I think, a bias that number will also be good, and that would be a negative for Treasuries. But the Treasuries had a really aggressive move there before the news, and now it's kind of reverting back. So I don't know if it's worth trying to take risk on that one. Yeah, news in 60 seconds. Well, it's like 30 seconds now. Is Powell speaking in public? Yes. At the top of the hour, Powell will be speaking to Congress. Just note that his opening statement has already been released to the public, and we know what he's going to say. So if you see moves in the first 5 minutes, just know that is from people that are clueless and don't know what is going on. It won't be until we get to the Q&A portion where what he says will really matter. Oh yeah, and consumer confidence. So consumer confidence less. Oh, okay, both of these numbers are bad actually. Consumer confidence 109.3 versus 115, and Richmond Fed Composite Index -3 versus 10. So that's actually very, very bad. I mean, that consumer confidence number, I'm not sure if that bothers me or not. This could careen all the way back. Oh, it could. I could have gone long there. I think I should have. Is it something that I have a tendency to do is to be like, I get my winner and be like, I'm so happy about it, like I'm satisfied. You know what I mean? Like I get the chemical high from it, and then I'm done, and I don't push it. And I should push it. Because we're in a position right now where it looks like we've got a pretty good read on the treasuries, and we're doing really well. I could have gone short again at like 60 and probably made $10. Would it have been worth it? I don't know. But both of those numbers were bad. So, how much could the treasuries revert back though? Well, 13.5 would be one spot to see there in the 10-year, just because that's the open, right? I don't know if they could go all the way back up to the top. Alligator says yes, too bad for liquidity. Oh, be nice to him, Alligator. Oh my gosh. So there's this guy in Discord in the interest rates channel, and he's been saying stuff about the treasuries, basically contradicting almost everything that I say. Not like intentionally, but he just has a position that's just the opposite, and he keeps going long. Like, he's been trying to go long against this whole thing, and he was long last week and before all of that. And Alligator is saying yes, too bad for liquidity, because he went long at 10. He was long, or no, his stop was at 10. His long was from 14, I think, and his stop was at 10. So he probably got stopped out, and now it's right back to his, like, maybe actually ends up being a good trade now. Like, there is a possibility they go up to the highs. So Alligator prodding him a little bit there in Discord, I think. It really is. I don't know. When I look back at that, I was like, okay, I was right. I was totally right. Why? Well, what can I learn from it? Well, orders move markets. That's really what it comes down to, right? Predicting future returns is all about predicting future order flow. And I think that sometimes people will come in and make this really complicated, convoluted argument about what should happen based off of their theory of economics. And it just doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. What moves the market is the orders, okay? If the Federal Reserve is going to come in and buy treasuries, the treasury market prices are going to go up. And if they're not buying as many, like is what is happening with the taper, then the treasuries are going to come down. And here we've had a couple of stories. There's a convexity trade coming in. Also, one of the big drivers of demand from like 2 weeks ago, it was from Japanese firms. Well, it sounds like they got everything that they needed, and they don't need to buy anymore. So that flow is gone too. So what does the order flow tell us? It's a sell in the treasury overall right now. Although with that Richmond Manufacturing Index, I think it really changes the calculation, right? But that's how we were able to make so many great trades in the treasury. It was because we're able to predict future order flows. Like we're in a situation where the macroeconomic changes are such that we can make pretty good calls about what's going to happen on that. It's just like with oil. I can almost guarantee you that we have not seen the highs in oil for the year. right? I don't know if that one is worth making a stock trade off of, but I think we could. I don't know. If we wanted to do a stock trade off of that, we're going to have to pick a good spot, right? Like if oil comes back hard, then maybe I can go and get in a good one in oil. Well, today's actually been not too bad, so I don't know. So I'm just thinking with Jay here, he took. Oh, okay. He took 3 longs there. The first 2 stopped out. The first one he's still in. I do have something built into my robot that if he loses too many in a row, that he'll stop. But I also in one of these other ones, I had this thing where it was like, if you get a long and it doesn't work, and then you get another long and it doesn't work, then the third time that you get a long, you don't take it. I forget which robot I had that logic built into, but maybe Jay needs it. Because I do think today it's maybe not such a big deal, but the day is going to come where we're going to have like this trend down day, and he's going to try buying it the whole way. Well, he'll go to his $1,000 daily stop limit first, but I don't stop, I irritation trade. You've definitely got to have like a hard limit that's like, okay, once we get here, I don't take any more trades. Which is really hard to do, because usually with the days that you hit those limits, it will seem like there's a lot more opportunity left for you. But I've found more and more that usually in a situation like that, you don't want to take that one. You don't want to do that. Because like, again, we're at least with the way that I trade, you definitely don't. Because how am I making these trades, right? I'm predicting future order flows, right? Well, if I'm losing money, that means that either my prediction was wrong or that it's just random stuff. So in either of those cases, do I really have an edge? Like, or should I really keep trading? Probably not. Not unless some sort of piece of news comes in that like really turns things in my favor, right? My lips are feeling a little chapped. Well, I should note that with the Treasury getting back to the 13.5, that they do seem to be having a hard time getting above that. It looks to me like the meta order long is not even like maybe 45% of the size of the meta order short. And so they're only able to basically get back to where we started. Now, if there's more of a long meta order comes in, and I think it would have to be another leg of something that could push us to highs. But for the moment, I still don't think I really have a good reason to think that it's going to do anything other than try and find a spot to distribute in. Evergrande bondholders mull next steps in wake of missed payment. Wall Street Journal article being retweeted by News Squawk. So you guys got really quiet there. What was it that I said that you guys got so quiet about? What? You're all taking trades now. You were all short the treasury and are unhappy about holding it and it coming back on you. Please tell me that's not the truth. That didn't happen. If that happened to you, I feel for you. Because it was probably a little bit of luck that I didn't end up being in that, right? Nasdaq Trader says I am sleepy and hungry. Hey man, don't be staying up late. You know what? I think it's so. I think that our society needs to come up with better ways to address these problems, because I don't really know what the answer is other than just freaking self-control, right? But you can get this thing where like your brain goes into dopamine seeking mode. So like, and this happens to people very much before they go to sleep, right? They're looking for because dopamine helps you sleep, right? So they're getting on their phones, trying to find something that will trigger the dopamine, right? But you've already kind of like overloaded your circuits all day from browsing the internet and whatnot. Kulud says cocaine. No, that would not help you go to sleep at night. Nope. You just got to have like a time where it's like, I'm done. Go through the bedtime routine, turn the lights out, go to sleep. And because once you start getting on the phone and going into dopamine, now when it happens earlier in the day, that's like a problem too. Like sometimes I'll waste time just watching TikTok. The rest is for the dead. I think that I've told my wife that on at least one occasion that we can sleep when we're dead, but I'm pretty sure that much more often I'm saying, you know, the internet will be online tomorrow too. This is just, you know. You know, the one that kills me is they're going through issues at work with there's like, they don't have a union, but they kind of have like an employee association that's set up by the company, and there was a person that was elected to head that organization and has quit, and there's all sorts of drama over it, and everybody's talking about whether they should unionize again. And so my wife's like really interested in that and reading a lot about that, right? But it's like nothing's gonna happen while you're sleeping. You can go to sleep, wake up, and you'll be able to read it tomorrow too, right? But it's so hard to put it down. We did really good yesterday, though. I wrote out a list. I was like, okay, here's all the things that we're supposed to be doing in the evening that I keep forgetting and that we're not doing. And so last night, after we ate, I went through the list and we did all of those things, and I was quite happy with it. And it wasn't like big things. It was like she's been having problems with her foot because she stands so much when she does work. You know, the 2 days of the week that she does work, she's standing the whole time. It's killing her feet. So we got to ice the foot every day. Every day we can ice the foot. Did it yesterday. I think it helped. I love the internet. It's such an amazing thing, and it is a different way of life than what I had in the 70s and 80s, but we must seek balance. Yeah. Yeah. It's so one of the problems that I see in society with the internet right now, Generation Z does not realize that their parents grew up with the internet too, right? Like the young person's inclination is to think this is a new thing and the adults just don't understand it. Well, there probably are a lot of adults that don't understand it because they've been on the internet, but they've kind of been clueless, you know? But the millennials have been living with this their whole life, basically, like their whole adult lives, at least, you know? Like the internet we had internet access at school when we were in junior high, right? So I frequently see Gen Z kids say things about the internet that are like, I'm like, oh man, you have no clue. Like the version of the internet that Gen Z has today is so sterilized compared to what we had, right? When I first got on the internet, it was you had to be careful about what links you clicked on CNET, or you would be sent to a picture of a guy holding his gaping ass open for the camera, right? And now all of a sudden it's like you get on TikTok and you say something mean and that's a really big deal. Like, come on. They don't understand. But it's not just that, it's the way that it affects your dopamine and stuff, man. The way that it'll you got to know, you just have to have your schedule and turn it off when you turn it off and have a certain limits. Democratic Senator Brown. Oh man, we haven't even talked about this today, have we? I don't know why it just, for some reason the story doesn't interest me. I don't know what the deal is, but two Fed presidents resigned yesterday. When I read it, I was so surprised. Like, well, I thought that maybe they might do something, but not both of them, and not so quickly. And can you imagine now Joe Biden is able to put two people in the Federal Reserve? Like, that's not very good. Well, you'll still have Clarida. Clarida is going to be Clarida and Quarles will be at the top there. And then Lael. I mean, Lael is Democrat, but she's pretty, I would say pretty economically sensible too, right? Oh, they've on the Wikipedia, they've already removed the people that were that resigned. They listed here at all? Fisher. Well, it will be difficult for those presidents to survive in terms of their credibility. It looks bad for them. It really does. I mean, I kind of understand how it surprises them, but at the same time, it's like, really? Like, really? Sorry, I forget the names, man. I feel stupid now. I'm like, my mind is blanking out. Who was it? Kaplan and Rosengren. No, they're not listed on here at all. Oh, I guess they're not on the Board of Governors. They're just... So it was Kaplan and Rosengren. Oh, Rosengren was an alternate. I didn't see Kaplan on here at all. I don't know. That's two appointments that they get to make, though, right? I don't know if it has a huge effect on Federal Reserve policy. Certainly not in the short term, but it is starting to look like that Joe Biden will be able to make a pretty good mark on the FOMC, even if he's only in for 4 years. Sorry, I kind of got a little quiet there looking through things and everything, but I don't know. See, you guys aren't saying anything about it. You must not be that interested on it. I for some reason, it just doesn't really interest me so much. I should be really interested. I should be like super incensed. Like, like had so many rules when we worked for Goldman, and then these guys are allowed to do whatever they want. Okay, these are going back up to their highs. Like, holy crap, hola. Rob, not a sheep. How do you guys evaluate trade direction? Basically, you need to know what direction it's going to go. Hmm, 131 federal judges failed to recuse themselves from cases in which they had a financial interest, says a report from The Hill. Okay, Secretary Yellen, we're in the midst of a fragile but rapid recovery, Yellen says in her opening statement. While our economy continues to expand, significant challenges from the Delta variant continue to express the speed of the recovery. It's not accurate enough, but it can be good for trade direction. Why is he? I don't know if he understood the joke there. Why is he saying that? Come on, somebody's got to ask the obvious question. Somebody asked how he's looking at the market profile for Qs and so forth, and like, how do you evaluate trade direction? And I said, basically, you need to know what direction it's going to go. Look at that. They're going to push the highs again. This is a day. And this is a day in the treasuries. I should have taken that long. I could have made another $20 off of that, going short off of that. Because we could have done it at 57, couldn't we? 57 to 37, another $20. Hot damn. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we made money. It's okay. The treasury, I didn't expect that the S&P 500 would get hit this hard. Let's come back here and look at it. Well, So I think that there could be some bit of dip buying, or at least something to stem the bleeding here today. But the local low is, from last week or whatever, is just below 4,300. So that's still a good 60 points away. That would be a little bit difficult to get to. Let's come over to the let's come over to Trading View here and look at I need to log in. Okay. Chart. Okay, so we're already past. Stop 1 was in the 70s. Stop 2 is 50. 43, 46. Tommy says you're long Eurobond. Can't wait to read the Seth Brown obituary. Wait, what? So they're dangerously close to 43.50. So I think I could say that they're going to bust through with that. I think that there's gonna be a push further and a little bit of a stop run, and then maybe a reversal. Seeing some support in maybe FDAX. Well, the Treasuries definitely turned around here today, didn't they? Ooh, boy. Right now, the response only seems to stall the bears. Oh man, so is Jay? No, he could take another one. He could take another one. Okay, I don't know, but he lost all of his profits. He gave up. He took 4 winners and then he took 4 losers. And I did say there up at the top, I was like, probably would turn him off at that point, right? I don't know. No way the Fed guys let him do that. Let who do that? Are the Fed's gonna let me do that? I mean, because I was talking to them yesterday, that it sounded like it was all I'll go. Yellen says failing to raise the debt limit would be disastrous. Is Jay not in a position? Oh, he's not. I guess he's not. Long stop loss. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I'm kind of well, you know what? We could try it over here for me for fun. For fun. Let's just do a short one here. Man, that Fed. Come on. Come on. No. It's almost. Notice they're being stingy about it. There we go. I bet you I could hold that way further. Are you still trading, Ace? The kids are talking and I can hear the baby monitor. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Ace says he's in short. Kids home sick. Okay. Oh, look, they turned back down really quickly there. I don't know why all of a sudden I'm getting this feeling like, Seth, you should be doing something. No, Seth. You're fine. Just sit and enjoy it. You made your money. Hit our goal. Should, because I don't know. What do you think? Because I feel when I look at Ace, it seems to me that the most important thing that he does is that he's really not looking for very much, right? He only needs like one trade to go like 2 points, and that's great. And if it goes further than that and he gets a runner, then it's like freaking amazing. But otherwise, like, it's fine. Like, he can do that, get in, doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes he does that, But right now, I felt like I missed an opportunity, and now all of a sudden I'm kind of feeling like, oh, Seth, you should do something. No, I don't think I need to. Well, so in the Treasury, what kind of stuff are we seeing up here at the top? So there was some pullback right there. Somebody was trying to accumulate there above, just below the high, and got buried. By the way, the turn back was much harder, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, because earlier I said, okay, well, this one was only half. This is such a great example, guys. This is such a great example, actually. Okay, so I didn't know how big the order was going to be, but look, okay, here's the down, and here's the up. Here, I'll try and draw. So this is just like so important if you're new. I don't know if we have that many new people here today, but where's my little pen? Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So here's the move down, right? And look at how far it went, right? And now here's the move up. Okay. Look at the cumulative delta on it, right? So the cumulative delta was the same. So you'd think, if cumulative delta is the same, shouldn't we return back to even? No. Because the latent liquidity in this location is less because of how aggressive the move down was, which means that it makes it much easier for them to cancel it out and move higher. Right? We could turn back around and go short again if there was a reason for us to go short. How can you go long? Well, and in this instance, remember that in this instance, the reason that it turned, look, we could have gotten in right here. That's a terrible arrow. That's a terrible arrow. We could have gotten in right here based off of the Richmond Fed and consumer confidence numbers, right? That's basically why it turned. Well, I mean, it had already gone too far and was rebalancing, but then all of a sudden, equities went risk off and it pushed the treasuries up. So we could have made the determination to go long the treasuries here based off of the news. There we go. Trying to spread my knowledge and gospel to all corners of the internet here. Talking on the Jigsaw trading server, which I'm quite enjoying them being on Discord so far. Well, what do we got? We got 20 minutes left. How bored are you guys? You guys aren't bored at all. Look at this. You know what? This is my problem. As I start talking, I just need to not say anything. Apparently, if I don't say anything, that's what like really gets people interested. You know? If I'm talking, then they know, oh, he's not really, he's not going to share a trade with me. So they wait for me to try and give them a trade. Ace Trade says, yes, that's what it is. Well, I would like J to be long right now. I don't know if this is going to actually like completely reverse though. I did take that really good trade there at 60, right? What was that, 60, wasn't it? Where did I take it? MES 63. So 63 to 71. So I could have made 10. Yeah, that's okay. $50 is okay. Oh yeah, Ace must be a little behind. You need to click on the little live button and catch up. Less is more. Yeah. I don't know. Like it was a good trade. I guess the thing that I'm sitting here thinking right now is like, okay, that news came out. Richmond Fed Wood number was bad. Oh, you're live. Okay, you're good. So like I'm trying to walk through what I was thinking when I took the trades I did, right? So the original trade was like, okay, I'm going to expect some more selling based off of this convexity trade and everything else that's going on. But it happened so early and I didn't know what the news was going to be. I didn't necessarily want to be in during the news. So I got out. So then the news came and I was like, well, that's really bad. That's going to push them up. So it did push them up in the treasuries a little bit. And then there was that point, remember, which I said, well, you can see they've come up pretty hard because of the inverse sine law. I don't know if there's going to be more order flow long, though. I think what I should have been doing at that moment, though, and what time was that at? That was around, let's say 8:10. That was around 8:10. Okay, so around 8:10. I could have been looking at the VIX levels and so forth and said, with the way that they're behaving, there's a really good chance that they're going to try and push for 43.50. And that could continue to drive more order flow our way off of this. Okay, so I could have gone long. But the bigger thing was that it was like I had already hit my target for the day, basically hit my target for the day. So like, why continue trading? But that was a situation where I could have continued trading. I should have taken it. I've had ones where it's like, well, I got it and it was fine, but that was one where I had a real reason to think that it was going to come back up and get pushed to the highs, and I could have traded it and I didn't. Versus other situations where it's like, well, it was kind of a risky one. No, that one was like, I had a really good reason to think it. I used to start with the gym, but apparently too much adrenaline is bad for trading, so now I do the gym afterwards. Not sure the difference really, but I didn't want to argue with the findings. That's funny. This guy here in Discord, man, for me to work out before trading in the morning would be like so hard. To wake up that early, then eat and trade. No, thank you. I want the trading to be like, I'm eating, I'm ready for the day, and then I can expend all of my energy in the trading, right? And then everything else gets to deal with what's left. Of course, the downside to that one is that, like, if you have a bad trading day, you might not get very much done the rest of the day. Well, interesting. I guess it's not too bad. Remember that 57 was about the point that we could have maybe have gone short. So I don't know. To be there at 37, I would kind of be like maybe messing around with if I was trying to get the fill or not. Actually, I think I probably would have taken it off down here somewhere. These guys that are talking about that, they must be like in Europe or something, because no way you're waking up in the morning and trading, working out for you. Well, Ace does go for a run though. Ace goes for a run, right? I don't know. Oh my gosh, yesterday, because I didn't really work out last week because of the colonoscopy. I just wasn't quite feeling well, and my stomach was still kind of seemed off balance. But I worked out yesterday. It was a great workout. I didn't think that I had nearly as much power and everything to work, but it was a good workout. And but I kept finding myself going through scenarios in my head that were unrealistic, like daydreaming about a situation where I got involved in an entrepreneurial venture, but other people in the venture were being dicks, and I was mad about it. Like, I don't know why I would be thinking about that, but like that was the thing going through my head, like making me angry while I'm working out. I'm like, do I have the need to just get out some pent up aggression or something? Because that was kind of weird, you know? Powell is talking right now. We could still have a lot of moves here in the treasuries. I can't really guess if it's going to be long or short, but Matthew McConaughey had a solution for that adrenaline in Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not sure what you're talking about on that part. I need to go back and watch that scene again, because one of the things that I think is funny is that it kind of seems like when he talks to the guy, it's like the guy doesn't really give him anything, you know? Like the whole thing in that scene was like the guy is talking about giving him edge, but then he didn't actually give him anything. But I think in the end he did give him something, right? Because he told him, like, look, the price and all of this sort of stuff, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the orders come in, and you're a salesperson. You sell to create order flow, and that's all there is to it. It was. That's really what it came down for them. So he gave away the big secret. Price is bullshit. That's the big secret. I've decided that's the big secret. Like the big thing that, you know, like, what is it that traders that are really successful know that they're not telling the rest of us, or that they don't seem to actually understand in a way that they can put it in words? That is, it's that price is bullshit. Doesn't everybody puts this big weight on what the current price is? Because, you know, I get it. Like, that's the thing that you interact with. So of course the price must matter, right? But no, actually, quite counterintuitively, it doesn't mean a thing. I think that's what the empirical evidence is. Self-love is frowned upon in many. I don't think he's talking about that kind of self-love, RJ. Ace. Oh, man. It just reminds me of last night. So my wife, she's got the what thyroid. She has a thyroid issue. And as of late, in particular, it seems like often when she goes to bed, she is just really, really cold, right? And so it's like, okay, we need to go to sleep, but I'm really cold, so snuggle me. And then it turns into more than snuggles, and it's just kind of funny how that one goes down sometimes. I don't know why you made me think about that. Yeah. That was the first thought that I had when you said that. I was like, man, I don't know what it makes me a little worried though. The when she gets sick, I was like, you're acting like you have a fever. She didn't have a fever, but she's just probably something she ate hitting the thyroid a little hard. They're pushing back up again. Interesting. Well, the E-mini hasn't explicitly turned to risk on by the dip mode yet. And I'm not so sure that it will. There might be a dip later in the day, but it may go sideways. We've seen this a few times lately, right? Where there's like a really big down. I can't wait until Asher listens to this in 16 years. Yeah, if Asher, if you end up having a little sister, that's why, because your mom gets too cold, and then one thing turns into another. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, so maybe the E-mini kind of just, I don't know if this is a buy the dip day. I don't know. I wish that Jay was taking another long here. It sucks. Basically what happened was he stopped out in the spot where he should be going long. Especially if he trades his Pokemon. That's what I gotta do. Is I've got to go and have my wife play Pokemon on the Switch. I think she would really enjoy that game. I think that's her kind of game. Pokemon. I mean, she loves the mobile game. She's gotten into that way more than... Yes, Asher, not Archer. Well, so the whole thing was my little sister has a dog named Archer, who is really yippy, by the way. It's like a yippy poodle mix. And I said, Asher is a good name, and it's on this list that fits all of your qualifications. And she's like, it's too similar to Archer. They'll think that he's the dog. Like, no, I don't think so. But that was the thing. And then here you go. People mistake his name for Archer instead of Asher. So if when you come over eventually, when you stop being an avoidant and playing games with me, and you decide to come over, which, by the way, since my natural immunity is stronger than the vaccine, it's definitely safe to come over, right? If don't call him Archer, because that could cause problems. Well, they were starting to move up there a little bit, but they kind of, the 14 is kind of more of the center of that, so I shouldn't read too much into that tick. Everyone will wear a name tag. Okay, yes. Maybe we'll do it like after, like maybe New Year's. So because for Christmas I want a nice waffle iron. So get the nice waffle iron. I will invite everybody over for Liège waffles. We can put chocolate in them. Maybe I can go get the chocolate plates and put chocolate in them. And then, yes, we can have a name tag. And you'll have to write your name on your cup, too. We'll get the cups where you can write your name with your finger, Okay, there's another tick down. Maybe it is going to come all the way back. Maybe it is going to come all the way back. I announce enough trades in advance that you should buy me a waffle maker. I need a double whammy. What do you mean a double whammy one? No, well, let me show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if this is really the waffle iron for you per se. They do two at once. Oh, I guess mine kind of does two at once. They rotate. Let's see here. See, I thought you had one like this, right? This is sort of a thing where it flips around essentially. Oh gosh, why is it doing that? Okay, it flips around essentially. Okay, now here's what I want to get. This is a croquade waffle maker. Oh, you did, and it wore out. Okay, so this one, you can't believe it. It's $239 for a waffle iron. Okay, just note. This waffle iron, this one looks pretty good, is only $30. This one is $30. This one is $239. Okay. So what's so special about it? I'm not sure. Well, actually, I think it's that the heat, and it's like made out of really good solid metal and everything. So you get a really good even cook that doesn't like, because one of the issues is you put the waffle iron and it's wet and that evaporates and that cools the iron down, right? So you need like enough power going into it to offset that, right? And then it has the Liege waffle plate, which has a very, very deep pockets. Very, very deep pockets. Square waffles don't taste as good. I don't think you've ever had these kinds of waffles. You set a date. You talk to the wife. You're like, when can we go over to Set's house? And I will make this special waffles. Well, I need this iron. I can use my other iron. I can use the iron that I have right now. It's not as nice. I'm just telling you, they special. Okay, they're different. Anyways, but then this one comes with different plates. So this one comes with the traditional plate, the traditional Liege plate. Here you go. Oh, which one was it? No, 001 is, no, that's M002. Okay, so this is the one that it comes with. Okay. There's a giant Brussels waffle plate, right? So you see those spikes are super, super deep. I'm grounded till next June. Wait, what? What did you do, Ace? Oh man, you must have done something really, really bad. You're grounded for the next 9 months. What? Okay. Anyways, but it also comes with what was it? I think it comes with the American plate. Oh, is the American plate 02? Now I have to go and find it. I thought it comes with, and traditional US style waffles, which is M002. Okay. So this is like your traditional waffle plate. Okay. So this is the one that I think you're talking about. It's like, except for that you want them round. Something bishop's wife, something. No. Oh man, you know what? We went too long. Treasuries. Treasuries sell hard and reverse. That was a great move. Well, you know what, mister? You think about what you've done. Okay? I will see you tomorrow. We can talk about it more. In the meantime, stay profitable.